1999, fear of Y2K was going on. Started getting back into playing softball summer of 1999. And what was cool about playing softball with an Air Force unit is you meet other people that you don't work with, maybe, you know. So you wouldn't otherwise know them if you hadn't gone out to play softball. So it was pretty competitive softball league, you know, all the different units on base get together and play, you know, your weekly game or a couple times a week, and then we have our tournament and championship and things like that. So we were a pretty good team. Anyway, enough about softball. So what do you do after softball games, right? You go drink beer, eat chicken wings, you know, stuff like that, and have that camaraderie after the game as well. So I meet Brad Deviney through playing softball. Great guy from Montana, still one of my good friends to this day. I don't know how this happened, he probably does too, but riding around in his truck. He gave me a ride back to my car or something, and listened to Sublime, you know, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I dig it. Now, I did know the songs were on the radio. Santeria, What I Got, you know, Wrong Way was another one. It was on the radio from that 1996 album, but I didn't really get into the full album or heard much of their other stuff. So he's like, what, you haven't heard all this other, you know, 40 Ounces of Freedom and Date Rape and all those songs? Not really. So I immediately started getting into them and really liked the band. You know, I was blown away by, number one, they were a three-piece band. Bradley Nowell, excellent songwriter. Spent a lot of time in Jamaica when he was a kid, so a lot of the, and then he you know, from the LA, Southern California area, so a lot of that came out in his songs. Anyway, I really got into Sublime. I still like them to this day. So I credit Brad riding around in his old red Nissan pickup truck, listening to Sublime, and who got me into that. So appreciate that, Brad. And then, you know, listening to all their older stuff, and I'm finding out, wait a minute, they jammed like parties, or they knew No Doubt. They knew all the members of No Doubt band. And Gwen Stefani sang backup or duet vocals on the song Saw Red. I don't know if you know that one. And then there was another song that Bradley Nowell did with No Doubt, you know, on one of their earlier albums. This was before the Tragic Kingdom album. Wow, didn't know that. So that's my story about Sublime. Brad ended up becoming a really good friend. You know, I was his supervisor for a while. We kept in touch all these years. I got to see him back in 2021 when I visited New Jersey out there. And, you know, he says, hey, I got a request. So I'm thinking of all these Sublime songs that I had a checklist of that I was wanting to cover one day. And a couple years ago, I did a request of his, and the song was called Eben, and it was also on 40 Ounces of Freedom album. So this was kind of a different song, way different than Eben or anything else I've ever covered, actually. So you'll just have to wait and see what song that is. So please stay tuned to Rich Raw Dog Drums channel, and I hope you like these 90s stories, and peace out, be good to each other.